Arlandria. I've had this song stuck in my head for a week. I'm so excited to share with you how to play it. Hint, it's really fun. But first, I'd like to take a moment to thank the following really fun people for signing up for the Patreon supporter of the Cause Club. Daniel Nixon, Adam Fakih, Rob, Ian McNeil, Anthony McGinnis, and Greg Hall. I am humbled and deeply grateful for your support. Prepositions. And if you would like to find out what that's all about, the link will be in the description. This intro lick is a C-sharp minor pentatonic lick with Dave and Chris playing the same exact thing in 2 different octaves. So first, I want to go over the C-sharp minor pentatonic scale with you so you can see where it's coming from. Start on the E string 9th fret and go 9, 12, already sounds like it, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 12, 9, 12. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. If you are playing Dave in your Foo Fighters tribute band, you're going to do the following. Grab the E string, 9th fret, 12, A, 11, 9, 11, and back to E9 with a boom, a B-E-E-Y-O-O-M, boom. There's nothing better than a riff that incorporates a boom. That's the first one. The second one is E, 9, 12, A, 11, 9, E, 12, 9. Sans boom. The third one is the same as the first one. And the fourth one is just slightly different. E, 9, 12, A, 11, 9, 11, E, 12. And of course you give it a wiggle. If you are playing Chris Shiflett in your Foo Fighters tribute band, it's almost the exact same thing, but 1 octave higher. Starting on the D string 11th fret, you're going to go D, 11, G9, B9, back to G11, and to B9, but there's no last note, because that's when the boom happens, so Chris sidesteps in order to make room for the boom. Boom. The second one's going to be D11, G9, B9, G11, 9 to D11. The third one is the same as the first one, of course. Boom. And the fourth one is going to be D11, G9, B9, G11, B9, G9. Okay, so Dave's verse. I can't do this. He does some amazing muting here, and I'm going to show you in theory what he does and what you should do if you want to work on it, and then I'm going to show you the way I'm going to do it that for me is much easier and just as good. So the theory is, I'm going to drop my pick for a second. We're going to have the G string 4th fret and the A string 4th fret. It's those 2 notes. I'm just doing a pinch here to demonstrate. And then the A string goes open. And then it's that G4 and the E open. And then it's G3 and E2. So that's the riff. That's the notes of the riff. But he uses a pick and he mutes everything he doesn't want to hear. So like for instance, on this first one, he might mute the E string with his middle finger and the D string with his pointer finger. For the next one, he's going to have to mute the D string with his pointer finger and maybe the E string with his thumb. This is very hard for me to propriocept. Then, for the E string open one, you got to mute both A and D. I can't do it. And then for the E2, G3 one, that's not so hard. Wow, I just can't do it. Here, that's what you should do, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Yeah, but before I do, I just want to say that it's okay to like just, kind of hide your pick right there and do the pinch thing. That sounds good. That's just not how he does it. Okay, on to my way. We're going to add some notes to the chords so we don't have to mute anything. We're not changing the chords, we're just adding some notes. So we got A4, D2, and G4. That's our first one. Then we're going to leave the A string open. That's the only change. Then we're going to switch to an E version of this chord. So we got open E, A2, D2, and G4. Then I'm just going to play the F sharp chord, but I'm not going to bar the whole thing. So I want E2, A4, D4, and G3. Here we go. This way, I get that muffled, muty, strummy thing, but I'm not tearing my hair out trying to mute stuff. So you choose. In the second half of this first verse, Chris comes in with his wooey thing, and here's what it is. Grab the B string 9th fret and the G string 11th fret. I'm also going to put my middle finger on the G string 10th fret so I can bend that string with the strength of 2 fingers, and what you do is you give them 4 strums, and you bend it up on the first of those strums, and the goal is to make this note sound like this note, so bend it accordingly. That's how you do that. Okay, so the chorus, if you're Dave, is all power chords except for one of the chords, and it's the F sharp chord. The F sharp chord he uses is the one I just showed you from the verse My Way, where you do E2, A4, D4, plus the G string 3rd fret. That is the major 3rd of this chord. That's the main feature of that Dave riff there. So I think that's why they wanted the major chord, not the power chord, in the chorus. Here we go. C sharp, the power chord, is on the 4th fret of the A string. A, the power chord, just like A, but no B string. E, the power chord, just like E, but no G string. And then B, the power chord. B, the power chord on the A string 2nd fret. With the turnaround on said F sharp chord. So, first line, C sharp, A, E, B, F sharp. That's the first line. The second line's precisely the same, except instead of the F sharp, we're going to C, the power chord, on the 3rd fret of the A string. C sharp, A, E, B, C. That's the second line. And the 3rd and 4th lines are identical. They're a little different. C sharp, F sharp, A, B, C. Do it again. C sharp, F sharp, A, B, C. That's your chorus every single time. And in those last 2 identical chorus lines, I'm a huge Chris Shiflett fan. I think he's an incredible, creative guitar player. So I'm going to show you all his parts here. He has a really neat part. Remember this move from the top where we went like that? We're going to do that same thing, but on B5 and G7. And then we're going to go 4, 6, 4 on the G string, down to 3, up to 6, and then the move again on 7, 9, and 8, 10. That matches up with the B, 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 C, 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 C. So here we go. Here's the timing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. B, C. That's Chris's really cool part. And that's my dog. The intro before the second verse is a 2-guitar effort, so you gotta pick if you're one person and not 2 people. But what you do, and this has got to be one of the most Foo Fighter riffs in the history of Foo Fighter riffs. Grab the G string, 4th fret. We also want the B string open. It's gonna be, G is gonna be 4 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2. But then down to 3 for those last 2 beats. That's one of the guitars. And the other guitar is a single note riff. It's going to be the A string 4040, and then the E string 0002. Like this. And you do it twice, but the second time the E string is 0042. So is that part. That's the only time that happens before the second verse. And there's more Chris Shiflett sauce in the second verse as well. This is so great. This is the chill part, and then when it gets less chill, I'll show you that too. So we want the D string 6th fret, the G string 4th fret, and the B string open. Just pluck down those. And then it's going to be D4, G4, but we're going to pluck D, G, B, E, B, followed by, it's going to be D2, G4, B open, and then D4, G3, that's that note in the F sharp chord again, and then the B string and the E string, just like before. D, G, B, E, B. So, that's his chill second verse riff. And here it is once things start to pick up. This goes right along with Dave's, riff, but it's plucked out. So we've got the A4 and the G4, and we're going to pluck low, high, low. Then the A string goes open, and it's low, high, low, high, low. So 3 notes, then 5 notes. That's the pattern. Then it's the open E string plus the G4 for low, high, low. And then it's the E2 plus the G3 for 5 notes, low, high, low, high, low. And here it is. That's fun. And those are all the pieces. Hey, thanks for being here. While I figure out where everything goes in my new space, this is not the ultimate goal. These are some pretend walls that I made so that you wouldn't see what's going on behind them. But use your earballs and figure out which one goes where, when, or if you think a playthrough would help your learning process, you will find such a thing on my Patreon page. So go check that out. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. I hope that was fun and helpful, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.